So you will always find me playing some sort of mage or thief, right? Now, that really only excludes a couple of classes, right? Because by mage, I've played clerics. Not a lot of druids, but I would play a druid. My favorite archetype, and you could totally guess this, is Illusionist. If you can give me a hybrid thief, rogue / illusionist character, I am going to be in my element. And there are a few things as boring as people talking about their D&D characters, so I'll spare you the details. But two of my more famous in the group characters were Xavinus, spelled with an XZ, which he named himself because he thought it sounded cool. An Illusionist who convinced the rest of the party that he was a very, very powerful Gandalf-style wizard from another realm whose powers had been locked and sealed, and that he needed them all to join him on his quest, which is not something that the DM came up with or had any idea, in order to unlock his powers from the evil dragon so that he could again become the really powerful wizard. And everyone in the group bought it immediately because they said, of course, because Brandon is the type of player who would go to the DM and convince him to let him do this. And so they had no question. They just thought I had gone to the DM, rolled up a 20th level character, convinced the DM, because I tend to be good at talking my way into things and getting what I want, if you could believe that. And they just thought I had a 20th level character sheet. And I kept them going for months upon months, thinking and taking over the entire adventure, and the DM they're like, we gotta go help Xavinus get his powers back, and the DM's like, you know, you're not doing the thing I wanted to do. You're instead doing Brandon's story that he just made up, that doesn't even exist. He's playing you all, and it was really fun. That was a whole lot of fun, and so the other character after that one that I made was named Sinathar, the really old. And his deal was that he'd been a wizard all his life among the elves. This was, I think, in Eberron, maybe, where they had good undead. I think it was Eberron. And he'd been this guy among them, and he'd been like basically the servant mage of the people. He'd be casting spells for the benefit of the people. They could come to him, kind of like a mage version of, like, I don't know, like mage version of like a doctor who works in a free clinic, right? And now he was really old, and he's like, you know what? I want to see the world. I am done with this. I'm going to go be an adventurer. I'm going to get really famous, and then they'll turn me into one of these undead things that serve in the undead council. And so his goal was to spend the last years of his life becoming the most overpowered individual that he can. And he min-maxed and ruined every rule that he could find in order to become the most powerful min-maxed character of all time, in order to prove, to himself that he could have gone out when he was a kid and been an adventurer. And he was a lot of fun, too. Though I had taken all the, there were, again, min-maxing, there were all these things that let you increase your character's intelligence and wisdom for age, and minus to their constitution and their strength and things like that. Maybe an optional rule, I don't know. But I had done that to the max of its ability, so he had to cast spells to get his chair moving around because he was so old that walking was kind of rough on Sinathar. So those are my two more famous among my D&D group. You can ask Dan about either of those, or Earl, some of my D&D buddies. Those were both times where I was not DMing. I often would be DMing, but there you go.